sisters from Mandela, brothers, sisters from Mandela. My friend, could we stand together? Look at us, we can live forever. Show me sister, show me brother, and we stand strong for one another. Come on, come on, come on, come on, yeah! Come on, come on. We could be leaders of the islands. You don't save petrol from a can. You put the petrol in the car instead. Don't be rama-ramas, messing with your brain. Say you're deadly. Do you understand? You don't save petrol from a can. You put the petrol in the car it goes. Don't be rama-ramas, snipping up your nose. Don't be rama, 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 don't be rama. Love your friends, protect your family. They are with you when you are lonely. Don't bandera, don't bandera. When you stop, your brains will be clear. Come on, come on, come on, come on, yeah! Come on, come on. We could be leaders of the islands. You don't save petrol from a can. You put the petrol in the car instead. Don't be rama-ramas, messing with your brain. Say you're deadly. Do you understand? You don't save petrol from a can. You put the petrol in the car it goes. Don't be rama-ramas, sniffing up your nose.
You not deadly, you rama-rama. Gonna get caught like Dylan Osama.
Yeah, yeah, I tell you, 'cause I care, yeah, I tell you.
When I was smoking in the spit, see the boys and girls are sleeping too much petrol, killing your brains,
We could be leaders of the islands. You don't save petrol from a can. You put the petrol in the car instead. Don't be rama-ramas, messing with your brain. Say you're deadly. Do you understand? You don't save petrol from a can. You put the petrol in the car it goes. Don't be rama-ramas, sniffing up your nose. Use your brains, think about your culture.
How? My name is.
What?
My name is. My name is.
It's Donga.
How? My name is.
Where?
My name is.
When?
My name is.
It's Donga.
How? My name is.
What?
My name is.
Pardon me.
My name is.
May I have the attention of the
My
tribe?
name is.
Where?
My name is.
When?
My name is.
It's Donga.
Me Donga Rolling Queel of the disabled tribe. Me threaten every man in magic firebooks. Want to mimic my spirit and do everything Donga did? Become a failed wrestler and date Saber-Tooth Pink Feather?
You wouldn't want to do
My
that.
legs are dead weight. Donga might have AIDS. Dead air. Donga was provoked. We'll fight Relfa male tribe with one wheel tied behind my neck. Does Donga work at a car dealership? Me can't even decide. I drank a fifth of firewater. Could you give my chair a push?
Oh boy. Yeah. Hey, it's failure time. How you guys doing?
It puts the buffalo fat on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. How? My name is.
What?
My name is. My name is.
It's Donga.
How? My name is.
Where?
My name is.
When?
My name is.
It's Donga.
How? My name is.
What?
My name is. My name is.
It's Donga.
How? My name is. My name is. My name is. Failure. The northern tribe needs to be locked away. Don't just sit there, gay operate. Donga hide and teepee. It's too scary to fight. Ralpha male tribe made Donga change name. Donga now chief.
Mega faggot.
111 and 0.
How? My name is. What? My name is. My name is.
It's Donga.
How? My name is. My name is. My name is.
It's Donga.
How? My name is. My name is. My name is.
Summation.
Synopsis.
My name is. My
That,
name is.
tell them
my
failure,
name is-
disavow, all that shit.
That's a very
Basically,
short
My
synopsis.
name is.
It doesn't change any fucking contracts unless you sign it under a different name. I
My
refuse to
name is-
believe
My name is.
that you
My
can't understand the concept of signing an agreement under the same name they can
My
cut a
name
check
is-
to.
My
That
name
is
is-
retarded.
How?
Retarded.
My
I have to
name
believe
is-
you're fucking
My
stupid to
name is-
believe that.
My name is.
It's Donga.
Plenty of friends investing money in this fucking shit. This bullshit. Tuesday comes along, oh, we find out that changes a lot. Tuesday night comes along. I find out I've been getting fucking lied to.
Ali.
Ali.
WhatIsWorld.com.
Hey Google, turn on the.
Hey, Brad, did you hear Nationwide and Amazon have teamed up?
This is
Stitch Fix. Stitch Fix. Personal styling for everybody, for every moment.
Hi, neighbor. Welcome again to this neighborhood. I'd like to show you something. You know what this is? Maybe if I press this button. This is a cassette player with a little cassette in here, and there's nothing written on it, so we'll just have to play it to see what it is. Do you ever imagine things? Are they scary things? Are they scary things? Do you ever imagine things? Things you'd like to have? Did you ever see a cat's eyes in the dark and wonder what they were? Did you ever pretend about things like that before? Did you ever pretend about things like that? Did you ever grow anything in the garden of your mind? You can grow ideas in the garden of your mind. It's good to be curious about many things. You can think about things and make believe. All you have to do is think, and they'll grow. Imagine every person that you see is somewhat different from every other person in the world. Some can do some things, some can do others. Did you ever think of the many things you've learned to do? Many things you Did you ever grow anything in the garden of your mind? You can grow ideas in the garden of your mind. It's good to be curious about many things. You can think about things and make believe. All you have to do is think, and they'll grow. Did you feel like going like that? Let's give the fish some food. Mr. McFeely, I didn't order any whistle. That's what they call a slide whistle. Did you feel like going like that? There are so many things to learn about in this world, and so many people who can help us learn. Did you ever grow anything in the garden of your mind? You can grow ideas in the garden of your mind. It's good to be curious about many things. You can think about things and make believe. All you have to do is think. You can think about things and make believe. All you have to do is think, and they'll grow.
In my neighborhood, Brother AP, dig it. I'm gonna climb to the highest top rope in heaven and drop my holy elbow. Oh yeah! I need to find a new vagina. Ooh, any kind of new vagina. It's hard to rhyme. Word like vagina. Kind of rhyme. South Carolina. Ooh, yeah, it's good to see ya. Kill me an Arab out there, AP. You are discriminating.
Well, that was weird. Quiet, AP, quiet! I still hear you coming out. Well, it probably stopped now. Ah, there we go. Fucking technical. Yeah, fuck yeah, Mr. Wizard. Yeah, Mr. Wizard over Bill Nye all day, dog. I still get high and watch Bob Ross. Shit, paint all them trees up. I love painting trees. Alright, collect yourself, Victor. What the fuck? Trying to put on a show, getting distracted. Nonsense. I got all this fucking loud ass bullshit in my ear. Turn this down. Alright. Well, it's been a while since I've been here. I had to work last Saturday, so that kind of precluded streaming. Which, let me tell you, driving around on OSU campus on a game night when the Buckeyes are playing, literally like almost, driving around on right there basically. It's a real bitch. Dude, do it, Eric. That would be great. Honestly, if I'm still here I might try and get on there tonight. Depends on what the hell they're talking about. But it's probably some dumb shit half the time. It's alright. Half the time it's not. I always feel like I'm gonna hop on one of these streams and be like, I don't wanna be that sixth dude on a stream that's just there. Not saying anything. That's a fucking terrible place to be. You're like, oh, here's this irrelevant YouTube account that's just kinda on this stream. They have nothing to add to the conversation. So I'd have to choose my shit correctly. But that would be a good purpose. Dude, Eric, you get on. Yes, do it. Do it. Oh, fucking. You gonna try and out nigga Jim. Fucking goddamn Huckleberry Finn. Huckleberry Foams. Huckleberry Foams. As always, the Rando State is brought to you by Sunkissed. Delicious, delicious, sweet orange Sunkissed. Whoa, that's loud as shit in my ears. Let's see. I had ideas and stuff prepared. So let's go over some things. So last week I went to Plain City, which is west of Columbus, and they have a Der Dutchman and a bunch of Amish businesses and shit. So I went and ate at Der Dutchman. I had some kind of chicken sandwich, some very excellent onion rings, and a better than average coleslaw, I would say. That was quite good. I was going to shop around the little like gift shop deli kind of thing they got, because they have, carrot cakes and cinnamon rolls and cheeses, all kinds of good shit. But I didn't end up buying anything because the family was like, there are way too many people here. They wasn't trying to deal with all that shit. So we left there and went to another place called Yutzy's Farm Market, which is also some kind of Amish gimmick. And there we bought some pumpkins. And those were, they were big pumpkins. And I also bought some... Now it's called private label beverage, which basically means you can just get an order. You can just basically send them an order for a crate of whatever kind of soda you want to make. And they just stick your label on it and say, hey, here's the soda I make. Right? And, but they have some really good soda, whatever that private label place is, especially because it comes in a glass bottle. So, sorry, Sunkissed, I did buy some orange soda that was not Sunkissed, or Orange Crush for that fact. So I got a couple of those. It's kind of a little pricey for what it is, but whatever. What else did I get there? Oh yeah, I got some dried chocolate-covered cranberries. Those were good. I also got Shoe fly pie. I don't know what shoe fly pie is. Never had this. Yes. Yes, it is Jolly Roger. We're going to get to that in just a minute. I got a couple articles I'd like to read through. And maybe some thoughts upon that kind of thing as I read through them. But I want to recap the past couple weeks for, all my listeners that tune in for their sage advice upon delicious little delicacies that they could be eating. And anyway, I lost my train of thought. Shit. So I got those dried chocolate covered cranberries or craisins, quite good. I also got a carrot cake roll. So it was basically like a carrot cake that with the buttercream that's been rolled into like a fucking like a what's that called, a book, like a cake book. I don't know. It's basically a rolled up cake into like a fucking pinwheel that you haven't cut. But so that was good. That was good as well. I should have just bought a proper carrot cake. Oh, molasses pie. That sounds alright, I guess. Let's see, what else did I buy? That shit. Craisins. Oh, I bought some apple cinnamon jelly. Haven't tried that yet. But if it's anything like this blueberry jam that I bought, it's going to be great. So I've decided that I like jam better than jellies now. Exactly, it is like a Swiss roll, but carrot cake. The the guy, I keep wanting to say blackberry jam, but it's not blackberry. It's blueberry jam, and it spreads on a peanut butter toast like wonderful. Spreads real nice and it's sticky, so like the peanut butter sticks to it, and it kind of molds together like a goober does, and it's got that kind of that acidy kind of like blueberry taste to it, but sweet. Oh my god, it's so good, so good, so damn good. Yeah, I'm thinking about kicking out the jams, honestly. Like, I kind of want to make some jams. I want to make some peach jam. I want to make some fucking blackberry jam, but get all that bullshit little bits of fucking shit that gets stuck in your teeth out of it. And persimmon, I don't know where I can find that, but pawpaws, they're all over the fucking place. Goddamn pawpaws. I've never actually eaten one, but they're all over the goddamn place. I bet that's pretty good. But I think when you put two different kinds of fruit in it, that's a conserve. A conserve or preserve or something that's not a jam. What makes something a jelly is that it's clear, or it's made out of juice essentially. Yeah, apricot, I can handle that. The ones I've tried, well, I had apricot jelly. I didn't like it too much because it had too much of that. It had too much of that. That like tannin. I don't know if it's tannin flavor, but essentially like the skin of it taste. It's the thing that comes off the skin, that the part of the skin that doesn't taste good, instead of the fleshy fruit middle. Good Indiana banana. Is that also a pawpaw? I think that's also a pawpaw. I don't know. That shit was a big thing like a few years ago. Everyone was talking about pawpaws. I don't know what it. So you'd have to try and get something to like take that out of there. Maybe add sugar to it. I don't know. Let's see. Blackberry jam. Today, I didn't get any bullshit from the store today. There was no exciting new Oreos to eat. So that's been a thing. Next week, however, I'm going to be going. We're going to go out to Plain City again. So, but we're not taking the kid. So that's going to be. Well, we're going to have time to, basically do stuff without having to watch the little bastard. Because you gotta watch him. Okay. There's all kinds of bullshit. Like, man, I always wanted to try like rhubarb and stuff, but there's this plant that was always growing wild, and I think it's rhubarb. It looks like rhubarb, but it doesn't seem like it's. I haven't had the know what the difference between jelly and jam is. I think I just said it. Like, jelly is typically made out of the juice and it's clear. It'll, you can kind of cut into it like a gelatin, like Jello would, and with a spoon. Whereas like jam, it's it's got actual fruit parts in it. Whereas like jelly's made of basically the juice, some of the flesh perhaps, but I don't know. I hope that's a joke, because I was just reading about the shit. But no, what's the difference? I would like to know. Anyway, so next week I'm probably gonna get some more stuff. Cause they got stuff out there like, man, they got like apple cinnamon, or not apple cinnamon, they got like cinnamon crusted pecans, which is like, dude, sugar crusted cinnamon pecans are so good. And I'm actually thinking about getting all the stuff I need to maybe make chili next week, because at those that Yutzie's place, they have. Oh, I also wait. First of all, at that Yutzie's place, they have like regular Amish beef, I think, and they also have bison, because there's a bison farm somewhere in Ohio that they get stuff from. So I'm thinking about getting some chili stuff, some like fresh produce from that. They got beans, I'll probably get the beans from the regular store. Nice. I'm gonna use that one. That's gonna. I like that a lot. That's funny. But they got beans of all kinds, which I'll probably get those from the store, just because I ain't trying to dry them or soak the shells and do all that bullshit. But they got fresh produce, and they got special meats, and yeah, they've got oxalic acid. But so yeah, I might make chili out of that and get some, I don't know, someday I'll share the secret that's not a secret of my chili. But most people just have their own chili recipes. Why the fuck do you need mine? Nobody wants to make Victor Rand's chili. Except for Victor Rand. That's why he makes it. God damn it, dead air. I guess it's his. Well, those two things. So let's see. What do we got going on here? I'm thinking. Oh yeah, so probably get that. Oh, and then the next day, after next Sunday, we're gonna go to the Ohio Renaissance Fair. So that's gonna be good fun. I'm gonna get me fucking Scotch egg, because that's the shit. And I don't know. For the first time in like 5 years, I'm gonna be able to actually take like a little bit of loot with me and buy some nice stuff at the Renfest. So that's gonna be cool. If you don't eat chili with a peanut butter sandwich, you're wrong. I could see where those two would mix, but it's never something I'd thought to try, so I guess I'm wrong. Usually, what I like to have with it, a lot of people do cornbread, especially in the Midwest and probably South. I'm not a fucking fan of cornbread, But what I am a fan of is lime chile. Well, lime zested fucking tortillas chips. So like, if you can get a good, you can get those Fritos scoops. Yeah, like Fritos scoops with lime flavored Fritos scoops. Those would be good, or just even Tostitos with a hint of lime. That's the way I go with that. Mainly because I don't know, I'm not like chili's hearty enough without adding fucking cornbread to that shit. And I'm not a big cornbread person. But at the Ren Fest, we get a Scotch egg, get some probably a what do you call it? Oh, they do roasted corn on the cob there, and all kinds of different things. A lot of people are like, "Oh, go get you the big turkey leg," and I've had like 5 turkey legs, and I'm done. I'm done with big ass turkey legs. Like, I get it; it's a big ass piece of meat on a bone, but I'm sick of it. And honestly, the ones that they sell there are like, the meat is really stringy, and it's not really that good. The Scotch egg is much better. You know, a fucking ball of sausage covering an egg. You know, that's ball of deep fried sausage. Grilled cheese and chili is good. I put peanut butter straight in it. That ain't bad. I don't know why you'd want to do that. It's like peanut butter's good. It's a sort of sweet and savory thing. Grilled cheese is good, but like I said, I'm all about a hint of lime, hint of lime, tortillas, chips of some kind. Or even just tortilla chips in general. That's the way I'm for it. Another good thing, too, if you want to do that, man, fucking Cheez-Its. Cheez-Its work perfectly fine. It depends on how you want to layer it. Because depends on how many layers of flavor you want to fucking take. It's like, chilies can be really simple. Chilies can be really complicated. Some kinds of chilies don't go with this. Some kinds of chilies don't go with that. When I think of grilled cheese, I typically think of tomato soup. I like tomato soup. I actually put tomato soup in my chili. Like, you know, a big can of that. I just figure it's one more. I like to get a little creaminess of it in there. You know, I don't like to use like some people use tomato paste. I like putting actual tomatoes in it. So I don't know. It just depends. Sometimes I just buy shit. And the peanut butter does thicken it up. Because the peanut butter melts and kind of just turns into oil. But me, I don't like peanut. Like, I like peanuts butter. I actually just had, I would like to have with deer meat. My father-in-law just killed a deer a couple days ago. And he killed a turkey. Bow hunting. But he, I don't know if he'll bring us any meat. But I've never made it with deer meat. I think it'd be good. I think it would be definitely tasty for that. I always like to mix meats too. Like, I like to have like ground sirloin and ground chuck, or ground fucking, you know, steak. So not steak, but you know, different like cuts, like ground round or ground sirloin or ground this, ground that. Different blends of fat. I like to kind of cover bases. Sometimes even ground pork. That one's always good. Little bit of ground pork never hurt nobody. Tell you that. That's right. But so anyhow, let's see. Yeah, so the Ren Fest, hopefully I might buy maybe a sword, maybe a hammer. Yeah, deer meat's so good. We just had, like, last time we had it, we just had it like a roast. Like a roast, you know, you like a Sunday roast. We just had a roast of deer. And it was kind of weird looking. Like, it was kind of weird looking to look at. And it had this weird greenish tinge to it. Might have just been the lighting at the house, but, like, it was so good. You eat it, like, the first couple bites, you're like, I don't know if I like that. And then once you kind of get into it, and you're like, oh, this is what the deer tastes like, and you're not comparing it to something else, That's the way to go, man. Fucking love deer. Need to eat more of it. We gotta eat more of it as a nation. Like I should be able to go to the store and buy deer meat. Make a hammer sword. I don't know what good that would do me. You'd just be a hammer with a spike on the end of it. I think that's just called a poleaxe. But I kind of do want a hammer. You know what really sucks is I wanted to get an English longbow and they have them there, but they're like $300 fucking. It's like, dude, I'm not paying $300 for a stick with a string. That's fucking dumb. I don't care how artisan you are at shit. And the only good place to buy swords, all the swords are like really fucking expensive too. And if you really want a good sword that you can actually use as a sword, you can buy one from fucking Steel Forge on Amazon for like much more reasonable prices than what they are selling there. And you gotta think, man, the most Renaissance festivals, they're fun to go to, but basically they're a fucking dirty mall. Like, they're a dirty mall where everyone talks in a fake English accent. Yeah, I'm sure there probably is. Like, places that have, like, a butchery that aren't, like, a corporate, like, chain store. But I don't know where those are around me. I'd love to. And I don't know if I'd really trust it. It's kind of weird. I should be able to put them together. If I was presented with, hey, here's this game meat that I'm selling you. Oh, yeah, well, farm raised. Fuck the farm raised. All those guys do is eat corn. They just feed them all corn feed and shit. Bleh. I don't want corn deer. I want deer that eats nuts. Like grass and shit. Whatever deer eat. Yeah, it's a themed flea market. Other than the shows, I mean, they do shows and stuff like that. Those are interesting. Once you've seen them once, you've seen them. Honestly, the best thing about the place is the food. Private butcher shops, that'd be the way to go. Or taxidermists. Well, my father-in-law, he does taxidermy. But he's not like a, bring me a deer and I will taxiderm this for you. But he just does it as a hobby. A lot of the stuff in his house is fucking like that. But most of the best parts about the Ren Fest are the whatchamacallit, food. They ran out of turkey legs. Oh no. You can't run out of turkey legs. I just got done talking about how I don't like them. I mean, I like them, but I don't want to buy them anymore. There's a lot of other they've got other cool shit there now, like, because they expanded it. And the one in Waynesville is, the Ohio one's, I don't know if it's pretty big or not, but it seems to be the most major one. It's just north of Cincinnati. And, but they have all kinds of stuff. Last time I tried to get the old lady to try, I think it was like a bacon jalapeno jelly on some toast. She was like, that fucking shit was nasty. I told you it was fucking nasty. You said, just try it. Let's try it. You didn't even try it. I'm like, yeah. But I thought if you liked it, I'd probably like it. So I was, guinea pig. They have jalapeno jelly and all kinds of bullshit like that there. I should also mention, the past fucking week I've been dealing with goddamn some kind of sickness. Jesus Christ, that was last Monday. I'm sitting there working for like 16 hours. I left early. My throat was starting to fucking burn. And, started coughing real bad. That sucked. I mean, I left like a half hour, but And then I just went home and piled myself under a bunch of blankets to try to sweat out whatever happened. But so like every 2 or 3 hours, I'll just go into a coughing fit for like 20 minutes, and then I'll be fine. That's been annoying. Yeah, I've never tried it. I should. Thing is, you don't actually need a whole lot of goddamn jelly to get by in the world, or jams, or whatever it is. So if I go there next week and buy a bunch, like if I buy like 3 cans or 3 jars, whatever it is, I'm gonna have jelly for the next fucking year. I ain't trying to have all that jelly. I've got 2 of them right now. I've got the blueberry and I've got that apple cinnamon. I'm really excited about the apple cinnamon. The apple cinnamon is it's right up my fucking alley. That jelly is right up my alley. I like cinnamon. I like apples. But I'm gonna sit here talking about fucking food for 20 minutes. I also went out and bought some jeans today. That was stupid. Well, I wasn't stupid, but it was alright. I got some jeans. They're pretty comfortable. But I needed them as my pair were starting to fall apart. And that's pretty much the only time I buy clothes. It's like, well, this my pair of pants is not working anymore, and if I do not replace them, then I'm gonna have to repeat a pair of pants a day. I don't like doing that. It's not my favorite thing to do. Let's see. Oh, and I bought some other cool shit. Don't eat possum. Somebody was saying that possum was good. I don't know where I heard that. From someone around here. No. Maybe it was... I don't know if you guys are familiar with Dangerous Freedom or Freedom for All. I think they're the same account. But I think one of his people, somebody, he put out some video the other day that had a link to this other guy, and I think that's where I heard it. He was talking about eating a possum. But if it's greasy, that means you need to grill it over a fire or something. Something where the grease drains out. A good fatty meat. Make a good possum sausage. That's what you gotta do. I don't know, man. Possum are kind of crazy creatures. Apparently, they're immune to a lot of the normal diseases like rabies and shit like that, evidently, which I always thought they had rabies, but I guess not. I don't know. And sometimes they're alright. But every possum I've ever met, because you got possum all over the place in the fucking city. They're all fucking mean and hiss at you, and they're always up in your trash. Those and raccoons. Raccoons, and fuck those raccoons. Damn. Sometimes I get ambushed by packs of raccoons. And it's tense, man. It's tense. Never relax around raccoons, I'll tell you that. I lost my train of thought. Again. What's their pants? Oh yeah, so I bought some other bullshit too. Off of Amazon today. Got myself a road case for a mixer. So it's an 8-unit vertical rack case that has casters on it. I don't have chickens, but good to know if I did. I ain't trying to have... Man, when I was a little kid, I had rabbits. And one time, I was like, there fucking raccoons trying to get in that rabbit cage. So he goes and grabs his 22 with a scope for some reason. I don't know why it has scope. But But we shot this raccoon that was trying to get into the rabbit cage. I think he was going after the feed of the rabbit. Unless he was a gay raccoon, in which case maybe he was trying to rape the rabbit. I don't know. I don't know what kind of deviancy they are. But squirrels are fun. You know what you don't see enough of is fucking chipmunks, though. Yeah, dude, squirrels are great, though. They're great little creatures. They're super fun. They're kind of cool. I used to have a squirrel that lived in somewhere around my old house because I'd see him all the time, either in the tree that was in my front yard or around back in the bushes. And he was albino, right? He was all white. So I named him Glenn Beck. And he was around for like 3 years. Glenn Beck was a tough old bird. But yeah. So I bought this thing, and then on the top of it, top of this road case pops off, and it's got a vertical, or not a vertical, but a slanted rack that's like 8 or 10 units. And so yeah, that's going to be the new thing that I put my bass amp in, even though it's got way more room for shit than just a bass amp, because I like Fox. Fox are great. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this here new road case. I'm going to go trade my old road case in at the music trade stuff store. And I'm probably going to buy this MXR. It's like a preamp DI pedal. It's got distortion. It's a preamp distortion pedal, basically. It also has a compressor loader on it, too. I'm going to trade the old road case in towards that. Probably that and this Behringer fucking thing. And, God damn it, I'm losing my train of thought. So I gotta get this road case in, trade this other bullshit in. Then I'm gonna put my bass amp in the road case. And basically, I've got a shelf in my current road case that I've got 4 pedals sitting on, right? And I've got a tuner and a power conditioner. I'm gonna put the tuner and the power conditioner in the slant part. I'm gonna grab, it has like a table on it for, well, no, the slant part is, it's really for a mixer. It's just a shelf. It's not actually 4 pedals. It's just to put shit on it, you know, in your rack. But what I'm going to do is, it's got a little table for like that, like a surface of some kind. So I'm going to move my pedals to the slant part on the top of it. Because instead of keeping like the amp on top of the cabinets like you always see, I'm just going to put it off to the side, let the cabinets be standing there free form. But I've got the, but I'm going to put the pedals on the top. So basically, because right now the way they're in there, for one, the fucking rig itself, like the bottom lip where my road case is sitting, is nearly above my actual height. And I'm not even a short guy, it's just about 6 foot. And you know, and then the things like, so it's like 6, like you need fucking lurch to be able to adjust those pedals, and they're inside like this dark thing. Well, they're shaded and stuff, so they're not very well lit. And so if I want to adjust stuff, I gotta fuck around with that. That's a real pain in the ass. And they're not velcroed in there, so if I need to take them out, like, anyway, so I'm gonna trade in that road case and this old Behringer fucking overdrive pedal. It's not old, I just bought it like 3 weeks ago. But it was $20, and honestly, it's a piece of shit. I'm gonna get rid of it. Get this other one that's much better because I've got a crap compressor that works well enough. But I'm gonna take that compressor. Well, it's gonna go tuner, compressor. Then I've got an MXR 10-band EQ that has dual outputs. One output is gonna run to my bass amp, and it's gonna run through that preamp thing and into my bass amp, and I'll probably end up getting another compressor before I'm done. Then, but anyway, the point is, I'm gonna have 2 amplifiers. So I'm gonna run the 2 outputs from the equalizer. One's gonna go to 1 amp. That's gonna be EQ'd and set up one way, and the other fucking output is gonna go to another amplifier. It's gonna have a lot more effects on it. So basically, I'll have essentially a clean channel, and I'll have a fucking effects channel, and those will be pumping two different amps will be doing the thing. So I can EQ the final EQ differently on each one, and then run one to my 410 and the other one to my 115. And I can put other stuff in there too, which is kind of nice. I'm thinking about getting one of those 2U drawers. Well, that's the thing. I can get a little flashlight. That's fine. I can light it. That's not even a problem. I've got a power conditioner in there. I've got open stuff, but the thing is, like, even that, it's only like 3 or 4. It's only like a 3 or 4 unit space. So like, there's still not a lot of room to move your hands around. With this on the top of them, I can just set the amp thing off to the side, just off to the side of the stage or wherever. And if I want to do some cool effect, I go just walk over there, kick it, and kick one of the pedals, turn them on, activate shit, and it'll just be right there up top. So it makes a lot of sense for that. And if I get one of those drawers, like a rack drawer, I can put some extra cables and shit like that in there. And yeah, I was just getting ready to say, I was actually looking tonight, and there's you can get the LED ones that actually like are sound activated. So I was thinking about just getting like one of those 16-foot strips of that and just wrapping it around the inside, or sticking it around the inside of there, and letting that do its thing. So that'll be fun, but that's not going to do me any good because I won't need to see that. First of all, most of the pedals I have are lit anyway, like that MXR one. All the sliders on the graphic EQ light up blue, so that's not going to be really a problem, but it'll look cool. I was looking for sound activated strobes that you can put on a rack mount, but I'm not worried about it. The main thing is get this new road case, trade in some of that old shit that I don't need, then get that other thing towards like some other better pedal, and then buy another amplifier, get like 2 more pedals. I need to get I'm gonna get a really good like studio quality compressor pedal, like the one that like Seymour Duncan makes, that's like, I think it's optical or some shit. And then that's going to be the first compressor in the chain, because it'll go tuner, really good compressor, graphic EQ, one signal chain goes that way. That's going to end in a compressor, and both of them will end in a compressor right before it gets to the actual preamp. That way, I like hitting compression right before it goes into something that's got a clip indicator. I like to hit compression before. And I'm only going to be running 2, so if I want to, I can essentially like get one when the attack's turned all the way down, run the sustain up at the beginning of the chain, or vice versa, and then just so instead of having one trying to do both, I can have both compressors working together in a sense where one of them attacks it really hard or attacks that, that amplitude jump. And then the other one doesn't worry about it and just does the sustain or whatever that function does. I don't know. They usually have like two different things. Mine's got a level output, which is nice. Which was nice because I would have that be the last part of the chain before it goes into the amp. So I turn the level way down and then like a whole bunch of gain set up before that. I had it sounding really good like that. I don't know. But enough about that stuff. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of today. I said today was all about the Indigenous peoples today. Or Indigenous Peoples Day. What the hell is this? Oh, that's this doesn't matter. I don't know what that is. So, I have to save that one. Let's see. I got this. There's a free press from last week that I was reading. So, in 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. And ever since then, apparently a bunch of fuckers have been butthurt all the fucking shit about it. Well, here in Columbus, Ohio, a bunch of fucking commies have done a proposal to change the name of the city to Arawak City. So we can be called, instead of the Sea Bus or the Big Cloud or Cloud City, we can be the Big Whack. That's a fucking terrible idea. I'm just gonna go ahead and say, motherfucker, no one thinks that Christopher Columbus was a huge fucking hero. But you really need to get the fuck over the fact that the guy stumbled upon the fucking nation and sort of was like, hey, guess what this place is filled with? A bunch of worthy slaves. It's not his fault. Alright. Let's see. Greetings from the Arawak City. Dumb. Arawak, it's some bullshit tribe. By Brian Curtis. Probably a fucking god damn it. Columbus, Ohio is a city known for its arts, culture, innovation, politics, and the Buckeyes. However, Columbus is the largest city of its kind, named after 15th century Italian-Spanish converso, by the way, oy vey, explorer Christopher Columbus, an explorer who was more known for raping and pillaging indigenous people and being a kingpin for slavery rather than sailing across the Atlantic. Now, I will say that was a common thing to do back in the day, but I don't really know. Never knew him as a big rape and pillager. I mean, he might have done some pillaging and some raping, but, spoils of victory, my friends. Spoils of victory. So, rather than sailing across the Atlantic, there are some people in Columbus who are questioning the city being named after the famed explorer who also did these heinous things, no, it says heinous, things to the indigenous. Now, I'm sure that there are some people, means there are about 5 people, and those 5 people are fucking nuts. Like, first of all, we can't change it to Arawak City. All the fucking signs throughout the city say Columbus. Columbus Department of this, Columbus that. You know how much that would cost just to make a dwindling population of fucking malcontents happy? Fuck them. And it wouldn't make them happy either. They would just find something else to bitch about. Well, they'd basically be like, no, you guys gotta go back because it's Arawak, so you would be for Arawak people. There is a petition circulating around to have the city of Columbus changed the city's name to Arawak. It's a fucking terrible idea. You want to be the Arawak Clippers? It's fucking retarded. Local activist Charles Roble is leading the charge into getting the city's name changed. Roble has been out in the community in recent weeks handing out flyers to spread awareness of Arawak City. I really hope I meet this guy. That would be a wonderful time. I would just, oh, is this what your flyer's for? Get fucked. I'm gonna be like, here. I'm gonna sign it. I'll sign it, Christopher Columbus. I don't know. Here's your blanket, sir. Christopher Columbus genocided. He didn't genocide anybody. A lot of people that came after him did. Enslaved and child sex trafficked indigenous. Well, I don't know. Yeah, it was probably a bad thing, but I don't think that was an uncommon thing for the 15th fucking century. Traffic indigenous Arawak peoples. Wait. The Arawaks are a tribe of indigenous people who lived in the Caribbean and South America. Well, why wouldn't we name them after a fucking tribe from around here? Wouldn't we be like Shawnee City or some shit like that? That's dumb. They were victims of genocide and slavery by Columbus in the 1490s. This would set a tone for both the treatment. No, doesn't set the tone. That's what happens. That's what happens when a more advanced civilization comes in contact with a less advanced one. That's just stupid. It doesn't set the tone. That's what any civilization that didn't even have to be advanced or anything. Contemporaneous fucking European powers in conflict with the Middle East would do this. This is the fucking dirty ass bloody world. Y'all need to fucking accept it. And if you don't like it, just don't do it. But don't sit here and be like, oh, 500 years later, let's fucking do some other bullshit. Making good arguments. It's annoying. I should just read the fucking thing. This would set the tone for both the treatment of Native Americans in the centuries that followed and the colonial African slave trade that began in 1619. Okay, well maybe the colonial ones started in 1619 if I'm gonna give you that I'm just gonna give you that one. But I'm pretty sure the slave trade's been around since long before that. Roble set up a GoFundMe page to raise funds needed for the name change. The fundraising goal is $1,000, with any donations used to build the community and encourage discussion of continuing caging of human beings for non-violent conduct. Oh, so this has something to do with the detention centers, apparently. The immigration detention centers that I'm sure, if the Native Americans had the power to create and enforce, would have loved to fucking use, had they any concept of what was coming. According to change the name's official GoFundMe page. Columbus and the legacy of the explorer have been a huge part of the city's tradition from the beginning, back in 1812. Most recently in 1992, when the city had a central role in the quintennial celebration of Columbus's voyage to the New World. According to a 2018 article in the Washington Post, the bill for the 500th anniversary celebrations for Columbus was over $95 million, which included the Ameriflora 92 edition, which I went to I believe I was 9 years old. I went to that. That was big fun. Drove an hour up here, walked around with a bunch of cool flowers. That was nice. And of course, Santa Maria finding a home on the Columbus downtown riverfront. Also been to that. It's not there anymore. The Post article also cited a transition to Indigenous Peoples Day. It's funny because on our calendar it's still Columbus Day. Started in 1992 with Berkeley, California. Oh, fucking wonderful. Yeah, Berkeley. That's a fucking great fucking place. Just the best. We should model our sidewalks after Portland's as well. California being the first city to celebrate the day rather than to honor Columbus. Other cities followed suit in honoring Indigenous Peoples Day, including Cincinnati. Today, 7 states do not celebrate Columbus Day. Florida, Alaska, Vermont, New Mexico, and Maine celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day. And South Dakota celebrates Native American Day in place of Columbus Day. Hawaii celebrates Discoverers Day to recognize the Polynesian discoverers of the Hawaiian Islands. Unlike Columbus Day, Discoverers Day, according to those Hawaiian state legislators, is not a state holiday. For over 20 years, the Santa Maria was built on the banks of the Scioto River in downtown Columbus, directly across from City Hall. However, the boat was moved due to construction of the Scioto Greenways project in 2013, and the boat has since been dismantled, which is a shame. It was a great fucking thing. It was a cool little boat. For several years now, there have been people who have wanted at least 2 of the Christopher Columbus statues in downtown Columbus to be removed. Because God forbid, according to 10TV, the Christopher Columbus statue was defaced with graffiti multiple times over the Columbus Day weekend in protest of the man that Christopher Columbus truly was. No one's perfect, man. You know, no one's perfect. Alright? Your heroes are going to disappoint you. And I don't know that many people who even really have him as a hero. It's mainly like, hey, this guy let everybody in Europe know there was a big ass fucking plot of land or some different shit across the fucking Atlantic. And that's really more or less all he did. Somebody would have done it. That's the thing. There's no reason to hate Christopher Columbus. None at all. Somebody else would have figured that shit out. Somebody else would have came to North America and said, oh, hey, look at all these people who have no concept of firearms. And the same thing would have happened. It doesn't matter who the fuck it was going to happen. It was inevitable. Where was I? The City Hall statue has been in place since 1955, when it was given to the city of Columbus from Genoa, Italy. Columbus State Community College has had their statue of Columbus on the downtown Columbus campus since 1988. Yeah, I sure am. I don't know why the Oriental music in the background is funny about that, but I am doing that. Oh, God. I had a big snack before I came down here. I probably shouldn't have such a big snack. There has not been any known controversy on the third downtown Christopher Columbus statue, which has been on the south lawn of the Ohio State House since 1932, given to the state of Ohio from Pontifical College Josephinum, which was in the process of relocating their campus from present-day Old Town East, which is the hood, to the outskirts of Worthington, which is not. With calls for change in our country by, once again, a bunch of fucking retarded malcontents, to disassociate this country's image from Christopher Columbus, some Ohio communities that have stopped recognizing Columbus Day. Oberlin is, I believe they have a college there. They're very much in line with the agenda. Oberlin and Cincinnati changed Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day. This July, it's not there. Cleveland chose to keep Columbus Day, but added Indigenous Peoples Day as a new holiday on August 9th. Well, that makes sense. The city of Sandusky will stop observing Columbus Day in 2020 and have made Election Day a paid holiday. You know, that's not such a bad idea. Actually, I don't think that Election Day should be a paid holiday. I think it should be harder to vote. I think you guys should jump through some hoops. Just because you can do it. You can do it. Oh, God. Just last year, the city of Columbus employees no longer had a Columbus Day holiday, opting to have Veterans Day off instead for financial reasons. The Sunday before the second Monday in October, there is a Columbus Day parade as part of the Columbus Italian Festival. The festival's organizers are standing by Columbus Day because it is part of the Italian-American heritage, with most of the country becoming more politically correct. Is it really? I don't think it is. There's some other dumb shit in this fucking thing. Anyway. Could the long-standing tradition of honoring Christopher Columbus fade in the history books? One can only hope that there is a deep cultural understanding before the Columbus Way becomes the Arawak City Way, where we champion diversity and do not pay homage to the man who was Christopher Columbus. Alright. Guys. He accomplished something. Whether or not you like it is irrelevant. He did it, okay? Like, just, it's not even that big a deal, for God's sakes. It's not like we don't celebrate 420 today. You know what I'm saying? Let's see if there's anything else in here. Nothing that way. Alright. This is a really good article, though. Or it's a really good issue of this magazine. And I'm going to come back to it next week with the other stories of retarded bullshit. Let's see. Now on to... Oh, yeah. Okay, 1870 magazine. It's a student published magazine for Ohio State. It's really fucking stupid. I want to read a little bit of the letters to the editor in chief. The editor in chief of this magazine, how she writes. Her name is Maddie Task. As I said, she is the editor in chief. Let's see. Boo! Did I scare you? Let me try again. Phone notification from Canvas. Your grade has just been posted. How about now? Oh man, she is a college kid that I'm not. But if I was a college kid, I would be like, wow, they really got me. I was scared because, my grade has been posted. As if you don't know how you did. You know if you don't. You know if you fucking know your shit or not. 1870 magazine. Yes, it's a magazine published by. She's a little chunky. Not bad. You could probably look it up on the webs and see it. She's wearing a witch's hat. So anyhow, happy spooky season. It's actually not spelled season. It's SZN, Ohio State. Not to be dramatic, but this is the best party time of the year, with the exception of the Michigan game. I don't just say Michigan. That's stupid. Like I get there are rivals. We can't even. It's fucking dumb. Like, okay, they're your rivals. It's the Buckeyes. They're rivals. It's Michigan. Okay, everyone knows this. But the whole you can't even name them. That's some dumb shit. That's that cancel culture shit. There's no link. This is a physical magazine. Physical magazine. This is why it hasn't been covered on, 50 other streams. Because no one reads this except for me when I'm on the shitter at work. So anyhow, you still get block every... Actually, maybe there is. Let's see. See if I can find it here. There might be a link to it. I don't know if they have a site. It doesn't seem like they do. 1870 is a independent publication and not affiliated with the Ohio State University. 1870 receives no student fees or university funding. One free copy per person, which I've thrown like 20 away. Opinions of those of the editors. No part of this putting through list with the CISP except I'm using fair use, so fuck off. Because I can talk about your stupid fucking articles. Yeah, I don't see. It's part of the 614 media group. I bet if they had a site, they might have it on there. So they do 614 fucking magazine too. That makes a lot of sense. Anyway, you still get block. You still get block every weekend. I don't fucking know. But now on Thursdays, this is the best party time of year with the exception. I don't. No, they just dump them off. Like they just, like you go to a store and you see that rack towards the edge, the end of it, and there's like, Auto Trader type magazines and like fucking real estate shit. It goes with one of those. So I'll just take one in with me to take a dump. And then I just throw them away because I figure if I'm going to read it, probably no one else should. I'm just saving it. So anyhow. But here's the thing, you still get block every weekend. I don't know what the fuck that means by getting block every weekend. But now on Thursdays, Fridays, and even Wednesdays for fall break, you have back-to-back costume parties where there are really no rules for what you can and can't wear. Well, with the exception of cultural appropriation and blackface. See, you'd think I wouldn't need to type these things out, but I guess some of the population still needs to hear this truth. But motherfucking fuck you, bitch. I encourage all of you. It's time for Blackface Halloween. Blackface Halloween 2019. If I was a costume person, I think I would go as Will Smith or some shit. I don't know. Anyway, as far as body shaming goes, all bets are off. Wear your coziest Chewbacca onesie or your most flexible spandex and a powdered wig. You're still bound to lose a couple key accessories by the end of the night anyways. YOLO. Let's see. Oh, this portends of the future. Some of my best college memories are from Halloween. Staying out until 5 in the morning only to work at 7:30 a.m. Shift the next morning at Chipotle on a game day. Spraying my hair gray. This is the part that pretends of the future. Spraying my hair gray to be a grandma. Well, old lady. Passing out Jello shots to all the cute young children at the party. Yeah. Only to change at midnight because I was tipsy and needed to wear heels to feel validated as a young woman. Sleeping straight through 2 parties in a row because junior year will kill you? Okay, maybe not all of my... And finally, hosting my own Halloween party is honest big. I wore a Playboy t-shirt, rhinestone fishnets, and yes, an Abraham Lincoln tall black hat and beard. Me and my roommates were 4 whores and 7 beers ago. That's some honesty. You tell me if I've peaked yet. So, I'm not going to read the rest of that, but, Maddie Task is certainly a character. Let me just flip through. We'll just flip through here. Because some of this shit's fucking weird. They have a bunch, it's basically a corporate magazine where, like, shit to do, okay? These are all the things that they think you should do as a young person. The second, the Black Keys. We'll go see a mainstream revival rock band. Some sort of Carnegie haunted house. Nonsense. October gallery hop. Run around in the short north with your fucking butt puckered and your pants down. The Ohio State game because Ohio State. Bone Iver. I don't know who the fuck Bone Iver is. Looks fucking stupid. He's got an old shitty guitar, and he probably. I don't know. Hugh Jackman, the man, the music, the show. I don't know why anybody would want to see Hugh Jack. Actually, it might be interesting. You know. Highball Halloween. That's a local costume party thing. It's a big corporate kind of bar. I don't know. They do a fashion show. There's a lot of drag. Columbus Italian Festival. Probably pretty cool, actually. For one, they're not cucking themselves on Christopher Columbus. So, Columbus Italian Festival. There you go. World War Joy. The Chainsmokers, 5 Seconds of Summer, and Lennon Stella. All a bunch of fucking bullshit music, I'm sure. Flicks for free. This is funny. Fashion Week Columbus. That's more of that short north shit. Flicks for free. Captain Marvel. Do you like free movies? What about free movies, popcorn, and drinks? If your answer is yes, come down to the Ohio Union for their Flicks for Free series. The Marvel hit Captain Marvel is showing on the 16th, followed by everyone's favorite Thunder Rat, Detective Pikachu. And then Jordan Peele's Us. So, Yeah, I'm sure he was. More Ohio State. I don't know what Matt and Kim are. Apparently they're these two motherfuckers that have been in a band for a while. But they're on tour. Broadway Columbus. Mean Goyles. Haunted Fest. I don't know what that is. It's some kind of EDM thing. There used to be... No, that was New Year's. They would, rent out a Holiday Inn out on the east side and just do drugs all fucking night. Ohio State. Halloween Party by Social Circle. I don't know what that is. It's just a big Halloween party. God, they have these October Crush connections. This stuff is weird. It's like people on Twitter that they like. I don't get it. Let's look at Topher. Topher at Tophboy with an I. Turning 21 Sunday, come celebrate with me and my friends at Old North Arcade that night. Make some friends, hang out, and have fun. I'm also very single. I like making art and going to Buckeye Donuts. I also make you pasta and whoop your ass in Mario Kart at Tophboy. And then they ask him, did you end up at Buckeye Donuts at the end of the night? Unfortunately, I did not end up at Buckeye Donuts. It was the only disappointing part of the day. Truly had it on the list. What was the first thing you did upon turning 21? I woke up and had a Milwaukee's Best Ice with my older brother. Not a very good beer, or the most refreshing beer to have, but it shall hold a special place to me for being my first legal drink. Who won at the most at Mario Kart? No one cares. Are you still single? It saddens me to have to report that I am in fact still single. I don't know where pasta. Oh, he'll make you pasta. That's why. I don't know what they do with these, or why they do them. What kind of pasta is your favorite to make? I'm a slut for fettuccine Alfredo. What? Well, who says I'm a slut for that? Not just for that. Just who says what dude's like? I'm a slut for this. For anything. Yeah, I don't fucking know. This guy's a fucking turd. Plus, he spells his name Tophboy with an I. I don't know what the hell that means, but I don't think it's good. How about Lindsay Bowman at Lindsay J. Bowman? I need girlfriends on campus desperately. I'm quiet, but I love to go out. And I'm a sophomore and will need people to live with the next year off campus. I mostly have guy friends, which, and I need friends to do girl stuff with. So, yeah, alright. She replied, I have a GC. I don't know what a GC is. Group chat. I don't know where you have a group chat at. Hey, I have a GC group chat for girls who want to make friends. Did you send in the tweet? If not, have you? Oh, I'm sure. Probably burns a lot of coal too. I did not send in the tweet, but I definitely related to it. The girl who did send it in actually did come forward, and I have her in one of my 2 groups. How is the group chat going? I actually have 2 group chats of 30 plus people each, due to popularity and demand. They're going very well. I don't get it. Both want to get together at Chip Fest next week. It's a big party on Chittenden Avenue. That's also fucking stupid. They have these dumb things, a bunch of pictures, stuff. Where is it? This will be the article that actually got me to take this with me, because this is obviously a stupid fucking, it's just, it's one step lower than a fucking tabloid or some, like, I don't know what you call it. One of those magazines that doesn't have anything of substance. Honoring Indigenous Peoples Day by Deanna Perez. See, I said I had a theme to this shit tonight. And I did. So, I think it's a great day to buy a book by an Indigenous writer and tell another person about an Indigenous person who is making art that you hug. So you're being racist. Being a racist. Did I go to this college? No, I did not go to Ohio State. I went to Ohio University for a year, and then I, sort of like a tech school thing for a year after that. And then I was like, you know what, I don't like being in school. I think it's fucking, I don't hate it, but I don't accomplish anything in a school setting. I've always just been a much more like, you put me in a job, I'm there. You know what I mean? I will pretty much master it within a quick order. But put me in a fucking class, and I just want to fucking disrupt everything and make jokes and get kicked out of it for some reason. I don't know why. It's just like I can't fucking help it. I want to challenge the authority of the classroom. That's the problem. Before I came to Ohio State, I spent a year in New York at Fordham University figuring out so I imagine Fordham University is probably a very private college that's very expensive. Figuring out what I want to do with my life. That's a privileged statement if I ever heard one. It was the year of the 2016 election. I should mention this now that I'm reading this bullshit. So in this magazine, the Free Press, 614 magazine, or Columbus Alive, all of these magazines, there is a running theme that I've come into every so often on a fairly regular occurrence. And it has to do with this. It was the year of the 2016 election, which was traumatizing in so many ways for so many people. So I spent a lot of time thinking about diversity and representation of minority groups. When I finally got to Columbus, I deliberately chose my classes to. So the point is, is 2016 changed everything, and now we live in a hellscape. And I just find that funny. For whatever reason, a lot of people seem to. Oh, let's see. There you go. So they literally, for a lot of people in these fucking publications, 2016 was fucking traumatizing. And but am I right? Is it a very nice private university that's very hoity-toity? And so they act like this is like some like blacklight event that changed everything for them, which I guess maybe it did. But I just find it hilarious. So every time I see that kind of phrase like, and then Donald Trump got elected, I knew I had to change. Every time I see that in an article, I just laugh because I know that whatever's coming next is going to be a bunch of retarded shit. So anyway, I spent a lot of time thinking about diversity and the representation of minority groups. Yeah, essentially. I deliberately chose my classes to help reveal the ways minority groups have been affected by our society, as well as to broaden my own list of beloved authors. So in honor of Columbus Day, she says Indigenous Peoples Day, but we're going to call it Columbus Day. On October 14th, I sat down with my Native American literature professor, Elissa Washuta, who is a nonfiction writer, professor, and member of the Cowlick tribe, to talk about writing, representation, and allyship. 1870 magazine. Thinking a bit about community, what do you think are the differences between living in Ohio, where there are no federally recognized tribes, versus living in the Pacific Northwest, where there is a lot of Native American visibility? Washuta, I am still new here and learning. I definitely acknowledge that I haven't been as active as I could be in learning where the other native people here. I'm connected with my native colleagues here in Ohio state system and native staff and students. I don't believe at all that federal recognition makes a tribe legitimate, but it does create a very real, palpable difference in Native American. I don't know how to do a Native American accent. I'm going to work on it. In native presence in these states. I know where to find other native folks. I know where to find other Cowlitz people. I track them. I know where my relatives are. And here it's just a different context. It reminds me more of growing up in New Jersey. Where I didn't know any other native people living there, or any other red men. So here in Ohio, there's definitely Shawnee, Miami, Wyandot, Delaware, Kimosabi, Delaware, and other tribes' history embedded in this land. People from those communities, raised from those communities, continue to have relationships with this place, and there's ancient evidence of other people's relationships with this place who came before them in the earthworks, the giants. I am trying to learn piece by piece, have been made in the land already, and using those to inform my own relationship with the natives. Okay. When I was a young man, my mom was going to night school, and I would go to class every so often with her. Mostly just fuck off. But one of the things she attended, there was some medicine guy from the Shawnee came to speak to the white man. And he started talking about the oral traditions of the Shawnee and what they were into basically before, where they came from. Basically, if I recall, from wherever they were, I think they migrated from South Carolina-ish, west, where they came into contact with the people who built the mounds, essentially, like the Great Serpent Mound. There's actually one down the road from where I live. There's a mound. It's not that big, but it's a mound. Basically, just piled dirt on shit. And he said, those people, they worship death. My people worship life. So when we came to this land, they were all dying. The Shawnee. Tecumseh and shit. And, but I have my own theory, and I think probably the earthworks were probably solutions. Not solutions like problem solving, I mean the solutions. Who were European, essentially. Um, came over 40,000 years ago, something like that. Whereas I think most of the natives alive today are much more recent, probably in the last 20,000 years. These ones would be about 40, 60,000 years. I don't know. I don't keep up on all this stuff. But anyway, this is what I don't like about it, is the fact that anyway, I'll just address these points as they come up. Hey, it's Dangerous Freedom. I was just talking about you earlier, maybe. It's where he killed the hooker. What do you think are the best ways to educate people on some of the blatant attempts throughout history to erase indigenous... Okay, first of all, 1870, we're not trying to erase it. No one's trying to erase indigenous culture anymore. Like, you guys, like, people on that side of the aisle are the motherfuckers trying to erase that shit. Trying to get the Cleveland Indians to get rid of fucking Chief Wahoo, trying to get rid of the tomahawk chop, trying to get rid of, like, all that shit that is... Trying to get rid of all that shit that is, like, the things that are left. Even though those things aren't, they're not actual Native American treasures. It's something. It's certainly better than just being fucking dirt. Like, why do you want to fucking sit there and get rid of the best parts of stuff? Getting rid of the fucking goddamn tomahawk chop, the fucking Chief Wahoo. Look at the big smile on Chief Wahoo sometime. Tell me he's mad. He's not mad. He's a big happy Indian. I only know small ways that aren't necessarily the best, and certainly aren't only ways. So basically she's like, I only know things that aren't very effective and probably aren't good. That's because of the devastating effects of so much land theft conquering and forced seed in the land conquering. It's really easy for non-native people to forget this was all indigenous land. Well, it was, but it's not. It's ours. You had it, we took it, you couldn't keep it. That is the way of civilization. That's foundational to everything that happens here. It happens on indigenous land. It's not indigenous land. A lot of this land is unceded. Cowlitz land is unceded. And there's, I don't know what the fuck Cowlitz are, but it's sure as fuck ceded. There's a lot of land that was straight up stolen with no treaty documentation or anything. It was empty. You didn't have any fucking concept of property. They had no concept of property. There was no, this is our land. They just thought, it is the land. We are owned by, that's the thing. They were owned by the land. Redskin is Washington football. Washington Redskins. Everyday life is happening on stolen land. And there are hundreds and hundreds of sovereign nations within these borders that continue to be sovereign and always have been. I think no, there isn't. It's over. There is only one sovereign power that is in this land, and that's the fucking United States government. Whether or not you like that or not is different. But they allow fucking reservations. They allow that sort of stuff. But to think it's just yours, no. Not to mention, Shawnee guy came into a place that had another tribe there. They warred. They took that tribe over. They drove those people from the land. Fucking, this is what happens. This is why we can't be the new Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? We can't let other people drive us from the land. Like, that's a problem. This is why you do not look to this as a We should learn something from these people. No. Do not learn something. Learn from the people who won. Or learn from the ones who lost by not repeating those mistakes. Actually, probably more valuable. I think there's an ethical reduce recognize as sovereigns and their individual citizens. I see the way in which we're tokenized, all 5 of you. To think it's sort of fine that we're not really representative because of the reduction in our populations. Well, if you're 1%, shouldn't just 1% of you be represented? Doesn't make any damn sense. I want to find a way to help adjust people's thinking so that they recognize our presence. I mean, do people just totally ignore you? Like, do you walk in and they're like, I don't see that person. They just blend in with the red paint. Can you talk more to stereotyping in media and the ways Native women are treated in fictional representations and how those representations affect the realities of Native women? I've been giving a lot of thought to the ways that representations of Native women in movies and TVs have facilitated violence against them. How? Part of what has happened is that there is repeatedly, again and again, this reinforced stereotype of Native women as docile, subservient, coy, and quiet. Think of Emily in Twilight. Oh, that's a fucking great representation. Yes, Emily in Twilight. That fucking movie from 20 years ago. That was terrible. That fucking Christ. Did you not watch The Sun? Did you not watch The Sun? Motherfucking young ass, goofy looking Pierce Brosnan goes out, smashes him some fucking Comanche puss. And she was definitely not docile and quiet. Stupid. Of course, it's a problematic and damaging representation because the roles and responsibilities Native women have. They don't have those. There is a real power and sense of leadership that many Native women have been tasked and raised with. I think it's absolutely set up for partner violence to have men looking for a fantasy of compliance and subservience and look to a Native woman for fulfillment of that role. Well, some women are simply subservient and quiet. Like that, just some people are like that. That sometimes you just read it. I don't even know how to do. This is the problem that I think I'm going to run into a lot. Is some ideas are so stupid. There's no argument against it. Like you can't formulate a fucking argument to fight it. Like it's just dumb to the point where you just can't. There's no reason. You just go, that's fucking dumb. You're just making up shit. Violent men are going to be violent, and I don't want to blame Hollywood completely and absolve men of personal responsibility, but I've seen it play out. Okay, maybe. Fucking, what does it matter? Like, what? You can't fix every little mistake that you think is out there. Like, you just gotta live with some shit. 1870, how do you think that non-native people can be good allies to Native Americans? Well, maybe. I got some contracts if they want to sign them. One thing I notice is that it is very important to me, or treaty, that's what I should have said. Treaty. Is settlers, bitch, we have settled. This is not, you don't call me a settler. You call me master. Because, well, you don't actually have to call me that. But, like, you fucking lost. God damn it, do you not understand the concept of losing? This is not your fucking country. It's not yours. I'm Native American as much as you are. They're not talking about, I don't know, they're not talking about a movie. They talked about Twilight because of the one character there that probably had like 30 seconds worth of screen time. But the only native dude that was in that was that fucking wolf boy. So I don't fucking know. They're trying. I don't think they're talking about anything specific, obviously. Settlers really need to listen. No, you need to listen. No, you do. And not listen in a limited way until they hear what they want to hear, but listen even when it's uncomfortable. Keep listening. Alright? I'm sure your fucking screechy ass voice is very uncomfortable. Things that are hyper palatable to white people, those are going to be the things that first turn up in a search. They're easy to find. If a white person stops there, they're going to find something that is not great representation and not our representation. I mean, what are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about, Google searching? I search shit. Yeah, it's going to be something that I'm looking for as a white guy. But you're eating at the same... we're both eating corn. Alright? If I Google corn, it's going to be like, here's where you go get corn. They're going to tell you where to go get corn. Or maize. Whatever. Fucking stupid. I always recommend Twitter. What? Something that is not great they're going to find out something that is not a great representation and not our representation. You're not going to get the answers that we think you should have. People have to keep going if they want to find more. Read more broadly, watch more broadly, keep digging, asking questions. This is a lot of projection, and listening to what's already out there. I always recommend Twitter. For what? I want people to listen to me, or it just says listen. I want people to listen, and I want them to find ways to lift up the work that we're already doing and facilitate the production of our work. Alright. Well, let's see here, natives. Telling us that, you guys need help working? Oh. Don't say it as it's so. I think that's a really key thing. Who are some of your favorite Native American artists and artists that you think people need to know about? Alright, this is actually a decent question, I guess. All of the authors from the anthology. Stephen Graham Jones, Billy Ray Belcourt. I don't know what the anthology is, but Eden Robinson, Kim Tallbear, amongst others. Black Belt Eagle Scout, which is a fucking awesome sounding band. I mean, I don't know if they're a good band or not, but it's a really good fucking name. Black Belt Eagle Scout is an amazing band. Jeremy Dutcher is also doing absolutely brilliant things with music. I also really love Demian Dinyatsi. He's some fucking painter or some bullshit. Finally, are you going to celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day see, this is what I'm doing for Indigenous Peoples Day. In any specific way this year? What do you think is a good way for non-natives to celebrate? I think they should do streams like the one I'm doing. Washuta. I never think about it because I'm Indigenous every day. But I think it's a great day to buy a book by an Indigenous writer. They didn't have a lot of writing. Let's see. I'm going to be in the Coast Salish territory doing a talk. But it's a holiday that I definitely appreciate, especially because I don't remember seeing the statues of Christopher Columbus in Seattle. Why would you see Christopher Columbus statues in Seattle? Like, why? Why would you see them in Seattle? You're going to see fucking Kurt Cobain statues in Seattle. He's that guy from there. You're going to see Mr. Seattle. If there's a guy named Seattle out there, he's probably the dude they're going to have a statue of. But here in Columbus, you're going to see fucking Christopher Columbus statues. Coming here, I was trying to tell myself that it wasn't a big deal. But then I let myself feel this is one piece of many that is a constant reminder of indigenous erasure and conquest and a celebration of genocide. I think it would be great if anyone wants to celebrate it can consider what they would like to do to undo a little bit of that indigenous erasure. Well, why is that? The statue triggered you. What? Where did Christopher Columbus touch you? Because he didn't. He's gone now. Okay, he's long since gone. I think he died of syphilis. Yeah. Man, 1870 is such a bad magazine. So bad. Cafe near bars. Let's see. Cafe Kerouac, the hipster of OSU. Cafe Kerouac is. No, Nirvana fucking sucked. I mean, you and I both know this, Eric, but she was talking about Seattle, where I'm assuming she's from or lives or does whatever. And that was the first person that came to mind. So I don't care. Fox in the Snow, an aesthetic classic. Fox in the Snow has some of the best pastries I've ever tasted. If you haven't already tried the coffee cake or cinnamon rolls. But apparently their seasonal pastry is fucking carrot cake. Hell yeah. Oh, they have a carrot cake cold brew at the Stack. 262 West Lane Avenue. I don't know, man. Nothing ever has to be fucking carrot cake. Because all this other bullshit, like, dude, Cafe Kerouac, they're a bunch of fucking, like... You imagine the kind of people that hang out in a bar, coffee shop called Cafe Kerouac. Your older brother was obsessed with Nirvana, you say. Well, it's a good thing you're forgiving, family. You just walk around going, rape me again, rape me, my friend. Damn, it's almost 3 a.m. That's terrible. I have to get off here soon. Hate to leave y'all. God, this fucking stupid magazine. Oh, it was fun. Real and not really haunted places in Ohio. This will be my last work of things. There are so many things to do to celebrate Halloween. Buy that pumpkin spice latte. No. Yeah. I could see where you would hate that, hipster douchebags. I couldn't stand. I don't know if you've ever seen that picture of Sargon when he was a young lad, where his like hair is like that fucking magenta color. But that's what I picture Peter Foams looking like. You just walk around like, yo brother. Mama said, oh, I got all the testosterone, motherfucker. that's what you did. Bitch ass Peter Foams. I don't know why he's Peter, but we're gonna call him Peter Foams. I know he's been in chats before and stuff. I can't remember what his screen name was because it was a Foams. I think it was like Rick or some shit. I don't know. Yeah, Peter. Was it Eric? Maybe it was Ethan? Steven, that's it. Yeah. See, I was getting there. Alright. One of the most classic Halloween traditions is the haunted house. And I mean good ones. Not the spooky garbage bag and mask combo your neighbors used to put on. Take it up another notch, biatch. If you believe in ghosts or spirits, a real haunted location will give you more thrills than clown makeup ever will. Here are some great real and not really haunted places you should check out in Ohio. Real. The Ridges Mental Health Institution. Once known as the Athens Lunatic Asylum, the Ridges is Ohio University's most popular haunt. A well-known legend is one of the patients named Margaret who went missing. When they found her dead body, it left a stain that could never fully be cleaned off the floor. They say if you touch this stain, it will cause you to have a terrible experience, accident, etc. So a word to the not-so-wise, don't fucking touch it. Just kidding. You can no longer access that part of the Ridges, but they do offer tours of the grounds, including the surrounding cemeteries. Motherfucker, there ain't no ghost in the cemetery. That's not where you hang out as a ghost. There's nothing happening there. This is great to get the outdoor fall views around some gravestones. If the Moonville Tunnel. I don't know what that one is. Maybe I have. I don't know. It might have been there, might have not. I have to figure it out. I don't know where Moonville is. I've been to the Trenway Mansion. If you're from southern Ohio, you've probably heard many stories about the Moonville Tunnel, including some personal experiences. Moonville Tunnel had its fair share of appearances on ghostly television. Oh, I know that one. That one's stupid. It was a fucking accident. Forestry, collapsed train tracks, don't forget your camera, ghosts has already been captured once. I guess. I don't think so, man. The Ohio State Reformatory. That's where they filmed Shawshank Redemption. So, there you go. Pro tip, the cell that is one of the most active for paranormal activity, just ask for the self number. I don't know if it's a Verizon account or not. Excuse me, sorry. You can do a self-guided tour of the building. The spirits don't just go away because the sun is up. Kings Island, Halloween. Oh, they only had 3. They only had 3 real haunted places, and they didn't put the fucking Trenway Mansion in there? That's dumb. Someday, maybe I've already told it, I'll tell the story of maybe next 4th of July, because it happened on the 4th of July. Maybe that's when I told it. I don't know. I got my DUI going to a party that wasn't at the Trenway Mansion, but it was pretty close to it. So yeah. So that was a fun time. Trenway Mansion's alright. There's a covered bridge near Philo, Ohio, that is supposedly haunted or has some kind of cryptid that hangs around with it. There once, a long time ago, used to be a log cabin in the woods behind our house growing up, or the neighborhood anyway, and our house as well. And if you walk along the ridge, you can actually find. I never could find the actual where the log cabin was. It was old as shit and rotted away, and they'd came through with a strip mine and kind of they tore everything up before they in the lower parts of it. Years ago. I mean, it was still an active strip mine, in the early '80s or late '70s, but that was all behind where the neighborhood actually was. But on the ridge itself, you can walk around and find. you'd find trash from back in the day. You'd find like old fucking, like old jars and bottles, glass bottles, and porcelain, stuff like that. That was probably just where people threw, like whoever lived up there at the time, just threw their shit, or it was right where their shit was. Anyway, I'm gonna call it a night. So thanks for coming out. Enjoy the rest of your evening.